in the up left corner. We can't do the name panels in this, I believe, because there are so many players. But we have the red Terran LC, or it looks like a barcode with the FLC team, and we have Daeden at the bottom. Can I not do the? That's upsetting. I can't do the name tab, and I cannot see the observer chat. Not the optimal thing, but here we will start with the production tab. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Overlord going down. SCB about to build that supply depot. There's no cheese going to happen from this. We can always expect Terran to throw some form of early pressure, whether it be some form of Marines or the reactor Hellions, neither of which are considered cheese by most. I have been raged out on ladder once trying to do some weird form of a bunker rush with a expansion behind it, and that Zerg got very angry, and I turned around and still beat him after he beat that rush. You just always want to put pressure on whatever expansion you can for the Zerg, making him make those units instead of those drones. But for the Terran, we do see that guys are going down. He is probably going to go for the Reaper. I don't believe I can bring up the resources, unless this is just going to be a test of my skills with the hotkeys. Terran is getting enough for an expansion. Or wait, no. Oh, that's just the income. Resources, my bad. He does start the Reaper. Always good to use that for a scout. Queens will be able to take that down, or at least push it back. But if it can get into the natural before a queen gets there, it has a chance of killing a drone, and it can always jump around and scout the main base to see the pool timing, gas timing, and such. So Zerg is getting his gas. He's going to get that Zergling speed. It'll allow him to surround Reapers even off creep, and it will allow him to get around the map much faster. It's a very important upgrade. Queen's coming out. He is going to use those, and he's going to need those quickly. He can save these drones by making extractors or spine crawlers, or he can just attack the Reaper, but I don't think that's your best bet. It can endlessly kite those units. He is taking that extra damage on it, though. He does want to protect that. If he loses that, it's not the largest investment, but it still is money wasted. He does get out of there. He sees 4 Zerglings made, and he did pull those drones off the mineral line for a bit. His expansion is going down, almost halfway, the reactor coming out. He's probably going to start the factory coming out. The reactor now going down, he will switch that out for reactor Hellions, I would assume. These Reapers taking out Zerglings, kiting them off of creep since there is no Zergling speed done yet. We do see over 100 gas for the Zerg. He does need to start that, but it has not begun yet. We now have one player's resources up in the top right. I do not understand this at all. Lair started for the Zerg. He might go into that Mutalisk tech, or he is getting the Baneley Nest. Lane Blaine Muta is always a strong choice, as long as you can transition into the late game, into the new Ultralist that we have been seeing. Swarm Host would be something I'd like to see. I don't think it's used enough, and it is very strong if you use it properly with that creep spread and those spore crawlers. Very hard to break as a Protoss. I have not seen it used against Terran as much, but I think it would be just as effective. Except for that the Terran has those easier drops, more effective usually as well. But anything is possible. Third command center for Terran is almost done. It will be done here in about 20 seconds. Aliens are coming out. He has a total of 2 so far. He will move out with 4 more than likely. Zerg is supply blocked right now, making 3 overlords. He'll make sure he won't be supply blocked after that for some time. Infestation pit going down. We might see those swarm host. The second gas in the main, as well as one and third going down, signaling that he does want to get this tech out. 2 engineering bays for the Terran, pretty standard. He wants to get those +1, 1/1 upgrades, and he walls in a little bit so that way those run-bys are that much less effective. Reapers moving out again, they are probably going to see what those Hellions will be up against. Zergling speed still not even researched. He must be just full teching up to those Swarm Host, or maybe even fast teching Hive. We will see though those Hellions coming in behind the Reapers, and these units, these Zerglings are not going to do anything. The Queen's poking down, but they can't do damage fast enough to save these drones. The drones getting surround on the Hellions, but that's not good. Those Hellions will one-shot if they all hit the same drone line. A few drones do go down. We have the units lost tab at 19 units lost for the Zerg. Those Hellions and Reapers being very effective. 800 resources lost. A lot of that in drones. He only has 4 drones in the main mineral line. While some do get transferred back over, he will now have 12. Going back to the production tab, we see those 1-1 upgrades started. Zergling speed is halfway done, and Swarm Host is on the way. I did not see if he grabbed that Swarm Host upgrade for the Launder Locust, but it seems that they are not. It is not on the way just yet. Extra hatchery in the main, as well as that Nidus network. You will probably set up some form of siege line so that way he can continuously harass this Terran wall. And that is very annoying to fight once it is in place. The trick is to keep it from happening, and once it does happen, you need to get that AoE out. One thing that Bio does not have is that AoE, unless he had those Widow Mines. The Locust upgrade is on the way. It will be done here soon. Another Swarm Host coming out, that Nidus network finishing up. He will probably want to get vision a lot closer to the Terran base, but not too close. He wants to leave a nice distance, so that way he cannot just be bum rushed when the Locusts die and another set is about to spawn. He does probably want to take another base sometime soon, unless this is just a 2-base push that I am not aware of. More Swarm Host on the way. The Nidus about to spawn. I think that might be a tad bit too close, but we will see. There is no AoE besides the Hellions on this Terran base. Armory started, he could turn into Hellbats, and that will be much more effective. I do believe Locusts are considered light, but I am not sure on that. We do have one Swarm Host planting down now. Those are light and biological. We do see Terran. Terran does know this is happening though, and he is going to move out. He has SCVs with him and a decent force. If he just threw down a scan and doesn't die to these Banelings, he could actually take that Swarm Host out. And ending this push would be amazing for him. And those Banelings though, if that one hits, oh, so many units lost there for the Terran from that one or two Banelings. So the units lost is back up to almost even. That was a very efficient trade for the Zerg. He is setting up those spine crawlers to make this a very defensive position. He has a total of 2 Swarm Hosts over here. They will be constantly sending those Locusts over here just to do free damage. Every hit that they do is free damage. Because they just keep spawning those. More spine crawlers coming down with the queens for those transfusions and those creep tumors. A third base going down for the Terran. The Zerg may or may not have seen those SCVs moving out, but these Locusts are attacking the bunker, trying to take that down so that way they can start hitting the rest of the line much safer. Many more Swarm Hosts here, and we see 2 more in production past that. We have more spine crawlers coming down. He is just doing a very, very effective push because Terran has no AoE against this, no siege tanks. He's coming in to drop on these. If he dropped on those Swarm Host and scan, he might be able to take out a few, but with so many spine crawlers, he's going to take a lot of damage while doing that. He does want to get in there while the Locusts are attacking the wall, however. He does move his army down to the Zerg space. This is a very effective way to deal with it, is to just counterattack because the Swarm Host can only be in one location at a time. 2 Hellbats coming out as well as that +2, that 2/2 for his infantry. To help that bio just that much more. The Swarm Host taking out the front wall, and this barracks will go down as well as these supply depots. We see the Terran army, though, in the natural of the Zerg. He will have to either use these spawning Swarm Hosts to defend against this, or he will have to pull back in the Nidus network. These Locusts do quite a bit of damage, so we will see how well he can hold this. He's not moving back just yet. He has a very well set up position here. He doesn't want to lose that, but he doesn't want to lose all of his mining either. These Swarm Hosts still in here giving out that free damage, even though it is slow. It does still help. We have these. How many were in there? quite a few drones and swarm hosts inside of that Nidus network, but they are still safe coming out from the mouth of the worm. The army seems to have been cleared up from those locusts. I figured that he would have picked up and would have been okay, but now we see very little mining from the Zerg. He lost a lot of his mining and his drones are across the map now, but at least they are still alive. This Barrett's going down almost. It is lifted off, but it is burning down. I don't know if he'll have an SCV unless he pulls them over right here and repairs them from the higher ground. He needs to just kill this natural or do as much damage as possible. It is starting to get hit now, and it doesn't look like it will be lifted off in time. It might burn down as well. This SCV could repair if it is not seen. Those locusts just last for so long. This will be repaired, luckily. He has 2,000 minerals in the bank, and this base is pretty well set up. He just needs some form of defense, because if the scent is given and the Zerg learns of this base, he will be in trouble. Looking at the units tab, Terran only has 4 Marines and 6 Metavats. That's more Metavats than Marines, something you never want to happen. He's flying all of his buildings down here, giving a telltale sign that something's going on down here. If Zerg realizes this, he can send one set of Lotus down here, and he will see everything and do a lot of damage with that. These SCVs trying to run, if they get picked up in the Metavats, they will be saved, but otherwise they will fall. The main base is all but gone. He has many Barretts in production. I don't know if that's your best bet. You definitely need some form of AoE to hold against these Locusts. They do so much damage. And if he is just going mass Marines, then Banelings are still on the field and still a possibility. So many SCVs just sitting here. He needs to have those working. Even if he has so many minerals, he does want to use them in some way, shape, or form. These Erdlings, though, find the SCVs, find the new base, and that will be quite the shock for the Zerg. But if he just moves his swarm host down there, there's nothing that really can kill them in one scan. So he can be free to send them over here and just constantly stream those locusts into the new Terran base and win from there. Another Nidus worm does spawn, though. He's going to set up a position right here, go up this ramp, past these Barretts, and through these Marines if he is given time to set up. Oh. Now, Terran has no idea that this is spawned. But these swarm hosts, they are getting ready. They are in position. The Terran does see it now. Those few of the swarm hosts may go down. They are not burrowed just yet. The Marines are picked up to fall back. They don't want to fight that many Locusts at a time. These Barretts just slowing the push down, but it is still ongoing. Terran coming in at a bad time. These Locusts, unless they just run past. That scan will run out, however, unless he has yet another one. It looks like he does. Not many Locusts coming out. He's stealing a lot of those swarm hosts, however. Looking at the resources, we still see Terran over 1,000, not really spending that money from the start. He has a basic command center here. This army is still getting picked off, and these spine crawlers have come in. That will be a very hard line for the Terran to break if that keeps up, and he cannot push into the main or the natural due to more swarm hosts being over here. The Zerg is well set up, and it looks like he will take this if he just continues pushing. We see reactored Marines and Metavats, but that's all he's going to have. That's not a good army to fight this. You want at least some Widow Mines or Siege Tank. Even Hellions and Hellbats would be good. He has 2 of those, I believe, but that is not nearly enough. Sending up another Nidus network to the new base in the upper right to save anything at his main base and to lower the amount of time that the drones are not mining. Marines getting taken out for free. While Terran does have a lot of money, he is going to slowly lose out if this keeps up. The Zerg still has mining going on. This Marine should get cleared up by this Queen. The Metavat's just leaving him to his death. Excuse me. Looks like more Locusts going up here just to make sure that this base isn't going to start mining again. We see a SCV and 7 Marines flying over, trying to do whatever damage they can. Only 7 SCVs on that base, but this one is fully saturated with mules, giving Terran quite the income. He's actually far ahead of the Zerg, and he has 10 less workers because of those mules, keeping him, or allowing him to constantly mate those Marines, but again, that's not going to be enough. He keeps losing these to the swarm hosts, as he loses yet another building and a few more of those Marines. They do not get healed nearly fast enough to protect them from this. These Barretts also going down, taking out the last few Barretts of the Terran. Looks like we have a Ling in the space, just killing SCVs. I don't know, unless he sends all the SCVs to kill this, or he just runs them away, trying to save the rest of those. These Marines sitting in the bush, I don't know what they plan on doing. The Medevat's healing for as long as they can, but there's not really much the Terran can do. If we look at the units, oh, he did lose. Zerg lost quite a few drones from this drop over here that we saw going over earlier. There was nothing sent to defend that. We do see these Marines taking out more drones. The Zerglings did run away. They could not take that many Marines. I believe that, oh, well, we have quite a few more Barretts. Terran seems to constantly be moving so that, and while taking out other bases at the same time, trying to do some form of base race. These Queens and Zerglings will clear up these Marines, leaving the Terran very low. He only has 50 supply. It seems like I have to click on the player individually. I believe there was something over here. I don't know what that was that just died to the scan. More Locusts going over here, clearing out this base. This base is going to go down if it just constantly is being hit. And Zerg should know about this. Nope. Trying to find the right player. I believe Daeden is the Zerg. So he does know about this. We will see what he has to say about it. These Medevats just flying over here ahead of the Marines. There must have been a move command going down. Those swarm hosts are not in a good position anymore, solely because this base has flown away, even though it is on fire once more. The Terran's still having quite the income due to those mules. These Locusts still pushing in. This base is burning down. Zerg needs to be on the move, however. He is in a very commanding position, but he doesn't want a large amount of Marines can do quite a bit to that small amount of swarm hosts, even though they are not normally efficient. So he does want to start this base, start the siege on this base. This base did burn down, I do believe, and this base has one SCV just chilling out. He doesn't even feel like mining. A medevac over here dropping on the Zerd's mining base. He only has a few mineral patches here, and this base is not mining at all. The drop does not go down for some reason. He instead does bring it back, probably trying to defend his base at the same time. These Marines will take a lot of free damage from these Locusts. Some of them just running around. Drones being made, only Marines from that Terran. And he is taking out a lot of these swarm hosts. He needs to get those out of there. He does save one, it looks like, but he does not have the income to keep this up. So if he loses these, he's in a very, very bad position. This drop did finally go down. He must have realized that he did not need to bring those over to it. He needs to move these in closer to get that extra DPS. More Locust over here from the natural, being sent in. Drones just chilling out. And he has only a few mineral patches here. He definitely needs to do something with those drones. Queen's coming out here to deal with this. All of them being picked up, though, however. We do not have any answer to these drops, greatly hurting the Zerg. However, a lot of the battle has been those swarm hosts and locusts, so Terran has lost quite a few resources over the Zerg, but we see the last few swarm hosts being taken out that were defending this base. So Terran is going to move into the main base, take out all of the tech. Zerg doesn't seem to have anything in production besides 3 infestors that he does start now. I do not know where those are, however. They are at this base protected by the Queen, so those will spawn safely and start getting that energy. but he will lose the infestation pit as well as the Nidus network and his lair. That will stop his pushing around the map and his map control as a whole. He does have random creep spots, but he cannot stop Terran from mining at these different bases. So Terran's income is far ahead of the Zerg. Well, he only has those few SCVs, but those mules will kick in here and at least even it out. And that is off of 3 bases, while Zerg is only on 2 bases. This one oversaturated on the mineral line. He does want to start getting that gas if he wants any chance of getting that tech back. The Terran army is moving over to this base, it looks like, and he does see this, killing it with, or almost killing a Marine with those 2 locusts. And this drone on the tower does see this as well. Those spine crawlers going down, as well as the infestors and queens, should be able to protect against any form of small Marine aggression. Yeah, here they go. He is trying to focus down those infestors. Those are very important units, especially in such a low economy game. These Marines are moving out. If he gets a few good fungals off, he could do quite a bit of damage to this army without taking much back. This base is only halfway down. If this one goes down, he is in a very bad spot. Scan going down to make sure there is nothing here, and while these Marines get taken out, these Marines are charging in, taking out the extractor and the drones. Fungal goes down on this group, but it's not nearly enough. A transfuse on the spore crawler, it looked like, not the best use of that energy. The infestors running into the Marines, very bad move, and only 2 infested Terrans get out before that infestor falls. These Marines clearing out this base. The Zerg is now officially on 1 base. He does have that infestation pit still up, however, and it looks like he GG's out. The Terran winning that match was pretty good. So we will end